Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic on the day when we have posted a free pack of puzzles to our Patreon site. This is the Duality pack. Now, if you're already a Patreon and you were a year ago, you will have seen this last year. If you were a paying Patreon, this was the November reward, no, the October reward last year. It's called Duality. It's by Skunkworks. There's a large number of puzzles in it, and in each puzzle there's a line Sudoku, and the lines have two meanings at least, hence the duality in the title. Now, why have we released it again free? Well, it's a sort of teaser for next month's Patreon reward, which will be Duality 2 by the Skunkworks. Same idea, new constructors in some cases, new puzzles in all cases, and we think that is going to be very popular. And we want, in case you're new to Patreon or in case you're thinking about joining Patreon, to give you an idea of the sort of thing you do get for $2 a month and for $3 a month solution videos as well. And the current Patreon reward, still 4 days to solve that, and it's easier than most of them, so you could do it in the 4 days if you joined and started now. It's Caroline's Halloween Adventure by the PBN Institute. Loads of Japanese sums, Sudokus, and pictures resulting out of those. So we do put some free stuff on Patreon. The last time we put free stuff on Patreon, it was the 600k reward pack. No, sorry, the 600k subscriber pack by a number of constructors who sent us brilliant puzzles. The last one in the pack was Sei Centomila by Florian Wertmann, who is a fantastic constructor. Now, this is the one that we have not solved on live streams. So yesterday we did a live stream of the game Tametsi, which is well worth watching in case you weren't with us. Have a look on the VOD. That's on the channel, that's free. But the last two live streams were us doing Sudoku, and we were solving the 600k pack because for each puzzle there was one of us who hadn't seen it yet. We deliberately made sure that was the case so this could happen one day. Anyway, we got left with one puzzle that didn't fit into the 4 hours of solving that we've done, and that is me to try and solve Sei Centomila by Florian Wertmann, and I'm going to have a go at that in a moment. So that's covered a lot of things under the channel. Now, Florian has also contributed to our apps lately and will feature in the final release of puzzles on the Line app Sudoku. The Line Sudoku app, I should call it. And one of his puzzles there, Hourglass, has a great break-in. It's not that hard a puzzle, but the break-in is great. I recommend it highly. So do check that out if you're getting our apps, and if you're not, you should be. And also on the links under the video, there is Sven's Sudoku Pad and our merchandise. And we recommend them highly. In fact, there's a special link to the shirt for Simon's favourite people, which was a special request that hundreds of people liked. So I'm hoping those hundreds of people will get themselves one of the shirts. Great design as well. So yeah, thanks to Michael Warren, who helped us with the design for that. Now, let's have a look at Sei Centomila by Florian Wertmann. Let's first of all appreciate that this was for the 600k pack, and he's written 600 in lines in the grid, 600 across the top of the grid in sandwich clues, 600 down the side of the grid in sandwich clues, and a couple of cages that are 6 and another one that's 12. It's brilliant. Now, what are the rules applying, especially to these lines? Normal Sudoku rules apply, so that's 1 to 9 in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. Now, we have to divide each line into non-overlapping segments, each of which sums to 6. So it's just like the rule for 10 lines puzzles. I think Zetamath invented 10 lines. I hope that's not wrong, where the lines divide into sums of 10. This time they divide into sums of 6. And we will try and find how that works. A clue outside the grid, these are sandwich clues. They're the sum of the digits sandwiched between the 1 and the 9 in the corresponding row or column. So in this column you can have a sandwich sum of 0 because the 1 and the 9 will be together and there'll be nothing sandwiched between them. And finally, cages show their sums, so those two digits add up to 6. Give it a try. I am going to give it a try now. We'll see how we get on. Let's get cracking. So I'm going to start with these two 6 cages, which I can see are different, what I like to call flavors. You can only make up 6 in 2 ways with different digits. One is 1, 5 and one is 2, 4. So this digit can't be from the 2 digits in this cage, so it must be from the other pair of digits. And therefore this is a set of 1, 5 and 2, 4 in some order. And all of those digits see these 2 cells, which therefore can't be from 1, 2, 4 or 5. But this one is on a 6 line, so it can't be more than 6. Can it even be 6? Actually, yes. If that was a 6, which could easily be in a sandwich, that is fine. So yes, this is 3 or 6. In fact, the digits on the lines are always... Oh, of course, the digits on the lines are always from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So in box 4, 7, 8 and 9 must be in those cells. They're not in a 6 cage and they're not on the line. Ah, right. And if we look at this... Yeah, is it worth colouring? Okay, I'm going to colour blue and orange, where blue is the digits 1 to 6, which is a much wider set than I would normally colour. But it's going to show us some orange in boxes 4 and 5, and that is going to show us 3 oranges in a row in row 5. Not in a row, in the same row. And that means, since there are only 3 oranges in any row, those cells are blue. Okay, I was hoping we'd find 6 blue cells in box 6, and we only find 5. So that is a 7, 8, 9 triple in the central box. Now, that's interesting. Okay, it's interesting first of all from the sandwich in the central column, because the 9 can't be in the middle, or 7 or 8 would get into the sandwich. The 9 is in one of those cells, and because there's 0 in the sandwich, one of these digits is a 1. Now, we can do maths. Can we do maths? I think we can do maths. These 6 cells are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And as you know, maybe, the 6th triangular number is 21. So those add up to 21. Plus a 1 in one of these is 22. Well, this whole line has to be divisible by 6. And the next number after 22 that is divisible by 6 is 24. So that's going to require the other one of these cells that isn't a 1 to be a 2. And I'm very confident that that is the case. I don't know if that helps me determine where 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are on this line. I will observe that 5 is always going to have to pick up. If 5 has to appear on one of these 6 lines, it must be next to a 1. Yeah, 10 lines are different because 10 as a digit can never appear on them, but 6 can appear on a 6 line. So I might have to slightly adjust my thinking. Oh, I've just realised I can put the 3rd orange in row 4 there. Now, I was going to say if that's a 9, it's interesting for the sandwich here, but maybe it's not. I don't know. Okay, so let's think about this 6 line then. What's going on here? If that is a 6, this has to be a 6 as well, because it's clearly part of a different line segment. Oh, 3 and 6, right. 3 has to be in one of these 3 cells in this box. I wanted to say it can't appear there, but actually that's not necessarily true. You could have a 3-3 pair on one of these lines, and it could be there on this one. Actually, it's quite interesting. You can't have a 3-3 pair on this line, and we've now ruled it out of this line. So if there was going to be a 3-3 pair on the line, it would have to be there. That's the only diagonal line going through a box border that can have 2 3s on it now. I'm not saying it does. I am saying that Zetamath, when he invented the 10 lines, I think for a while, I could be wrong about this, that it was almost a badge of honor to him to have a 5-5 pair somewhere on a 10 line because it was so elusive to the brain. I could be quite wrong about that. Anyway, I'm going to put a 3, 4, 5, 6 set in those cells. I was quite excited about the maths step, but it didn't really do anything. The 5's going to have to go with a 1. The 3 is going to have to go with a 2 and a 1. That's quite interesting. So I can actually work out what the sets on this line are. They are a single 6, a 5-1 pair, a 3-2-1 set, and a 2-4 pair. But I don't really think I get to place them at all. So that may be the most useless working out around. Okay, I'm going to think about this column and its 6 sum. Can that be a 9? Oh no, this column and its 0 sum. 9 is definitely in one of those cells. It's got to be next to the 1. So the 1 is in one of those 2 cells in this row. That's quite interesting. And one of these is a 9 in the row. So that's not a 9. Now, that might inform where does 9... Right, that is not a 9 either in this column because the 6 sum... Well, the sandwich would run south of that 9 and it would pick up the 7 or 8. So that's no good. So 9 in this column must now be down here somewhere. Now, the sandwich cannot run south of that 9 for this reason. It would have to be there with 9, 6, 1 appearing in that order. But that would break in this row where the 1 has to be next to a 9. So you'd already have 9 there in the box and you'd have to put it in one of those cells. So the sandwich in this column runs north of the 9. Therefore, the 9 can't be here because you can't have a 6 in that cell and a 1 in that cell. You can't have a 6 in that cell. And if you didn't, the sandwich would run into that. So the 9 is in one of these 2 cells. And the 1, okay, if the 9 was there, the 1 is going to have to be in one of those cells. If the 9 is here, the 1 can't be here for the same reason as why we couldn't have 9, 6, 1 running down there. 9 here is going to require a 1 in one of those cells for the 0 clue. So the 1 in this column is always in one of these 2 cells. Therefore, this is not a 1, and by killer rules, that's not a 5. So the 1 in this column is in one of those cells. Now, I don't know if that implies anything interesting for those. We've also got a sandwich of 6, and it's either a single cell, in which case it's here, or it's a 2-4 pair, which could be down... No, yeah, it could be down there, actually. That's annoying. We'd find out quite a lot if the sandwich was those 2 cells. For the sandwich to be a single 6, it would be here with a 9 there and a 1 there. These, I don't know, these would be from 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know what that implies. If that was a 1 in this row, these would be 2, 4, 5, and that would be a 1. This would be a 3, 6 pair. Yes, it's worth bearing in mind 3 and 6 have to sit in these cells. Can that be a 3, 6 pair? Right. Oh, that was based on if this was the 1. Actually, I think it can work. 1, 3, 2, 1, 5 seems to work. That's really annoying. I mean, that could well be the answer, and that would work with 6, 6 there. So there is certainly a way that it can work with the 1 here. And that was selecting 3 here and 6 here. It's almost not worth me working out if it can work with the 1 here and a 3 here. I'm not going to do that. Oh, bother, bother, bother. Right, what do we see next? And this is a fascinating puzzle. 1, 2, 4, 5. They were seeing all of those. Whatever this is having to appear in one of those two cells. And in those 3, along with 3 and 6. So can I work out anything about 3 and 6? I wanted to say that 3 couldn't be here, but I think it could. With 6 is there and there. And a 2-1 pair here making up the 3. I don't see the problem with that. That seems fine. Okay, the one sandwich I haven't thought about at all is 6 in the top row. Is that any use to me? Not really. I mean, I feel like it's likely to either be that 6, that being a 6 and being sandwich. No, I don't know. 6 as a sandwich is always a single 6 or a 2-4 pair. But still, that's not really getting the job done for me. So we've got a 1 in one of those cells along with a 9 next to it. One of these two is a 9. If that's a 9, that's a 1 on this sandwich. And that's a 2. That being a 2 stops that being a 2, but it's not really very interesting beyond that. 9 there would also be, oh, that's interesting. We can't have a 1 here because we know that the 1 in this row is over there. So if that was a 9, this is the 1 in the column because of the sandwich clue. If that was a 1, these other digits are 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now the 5 there has to go with a 1, which would be in one of these cells. And the 3 there, yeah, that doesn't work. The 3 there would have to go either with a 2-1 pair, but you couldn't get a second 1 onto this hypothetical line, or the 3 would have to go with another 3, but that's not possible on this line because they're to be in different boxes, they'd be in the same column. That's really incredible, but it's true. This can't be a 9 because 1 there makes this whole line impossible because of 5s and 3s. So that's not a 9. This is a 9. Now we know where the 1 is in this column, and we know that that's a 2. And we've got our first digits within the first 15 minutes. I'm not unproud of that this time. That's not a 2, that's not a 4. Right, now, does that really give me, it probably doesn't give me anything else at all. It's taken 1 out of these cells, and 1 is a very useful digit on this these 6 lines. Three. I mean, 3 was basically very difficult. No, 3 was only very difficult to get on the line when it couldn't go with a 1. Now, maybe we can conclude that 3 and 5 can't both be on this 5-segment bit of line. I think that might be the generalized conclusion from the detailed work I was doing. I'm calling it work. Yes, I'm calling it work. I know your job is harder work. Now, if 3 and 5 were both on this line, the 5 would have to go, oh bother. The 5 could go with a 1 in the same box, and the 3 could go with a 1 in the other box. I know that 3 can't go with 3 on this line. That was getting me excited. And therefore, for 3 to be on the line anywhere, it must go with 2 and 1. And for 5 to be on the line, it must go with 1. It's nearly very difficult, but anyway, it's not difficult enough, and it's not a conclusion. Right, 1 there means that can't be a 1. And we've got a 1 in one of those cells, so none of these can be 1. So if I could decide that 1 had to be in these cells, it would be there. How could I decide that? Okay, well, these cells can't, if that wasn't a 1, these cells couldn't contain, well, those cells couldn't contain 5 or 3. And even that's not true, because 3 there, 2 there, 1 there. Actually, that would break because you couldn't have a low digit in here. Yeah, maybe I need to focus more on the fact that 3 and 6 have to be in this group of cells. That is quite a difficult balancing act, just getting 3 and 6 into these. Because they kind of get in each other's way a bit. If this was 6, that would be 3. But what would that 3 go with? It couldn't go with another 3 there, because this digit would get isolated and couldn't be another 6. It would have to go with a 2 there and a 1 here. That 1 here, yeah, that wouldn't work for a slightly peculiar reason. But I'm going to take this. So I'm thinking about 6 here. That puts a 3 here. And since we can't put a 3 there or we'd isolate this cell, this would have to be a 2. It can't be a 1, remember, and this would be a 1. But 2 there and 1 there fails because of the sandwich in this column, which would then have to be a 2-4 pair, including that cell, but we've just put 2 there. So 6 there doesn't allow 3 here. Yeah, 6 there doesn't work because that cell would become a 3. So 6 there just doesn't work. So 6 is in one of these 2 cells. Now, if 6 is here, that's a 3 and that's definitely a 3 to complete that 6 sum. If 6 is here, that's definitely a 6. So now these 2 are definitely the same and are either a pair of 3s or a pair of 6s. And if they're a pair of 3s, that's a 6, because we've worked out 6 can't be there. If they're a pair of 6s, then 3 is in one of these 2 cells, and it is not forming a 3-3 pair, so then it's going with 3, 2, 1. That digit is a 2, and this is a 3, 1 pair. And we know that 1 in this box is in one of those 2 cells. In fact, I could have ruled 1 out of that cell. I just never did. So, what was I saying? If it's not 3, 3, 6, then it's 6, 6, 2, 3, 1. This digit can never be a 3, because those would be 6s. You'd have 1, hang on, that might be wrong. What am I saying now? This is either a pair of 3s, and that's a 6. That's what I think is probably happening, but it's possible that those are both 6s, in which case this is a 1, 2, 3 triple, and this is the 3, 1 pair. And that becomes a 1. Oh, we need the 1 to be here for the sandwich sum. So, if that's a 6, this is 3 and that's 1. If that's a 3, this is 6. So this is always either 1 or 6. That was right. 3 is not possible there. So 3 is definitely in one of these 2 cells. Now, if that was a 6, the sandwich in this column goes 1, 2, 4, 9. If that was a 6, and we've got a pair here, because, well, maybe, yeah, 6, 6, 1. The trouble is, I think that works. That's annoying. So 3, 3 there makes that a 6. And then the sandwich goes 1. Ah, that won't work. Right, 6 there makes the sandwich here 1, 2, 4, 9. But a 1 there makes 5, 2, 4 in the same box as a 2, 4 pair. So that's the way round it doesn't work. A 6 there doesn't work because of the sandwich in this column. So that's a 1. And now we know what this is, but now I have to remember what this is. It's, I can't even remember, it's 6, 6, isn't it? That's how we were doing this. I think that's right. Why can't that be 3, 3? Well, now, let's just, I can't remember quite how we got there. But this is now a 2, 4 pair. That's a 5, that's a 1. This sandwich is clearly a 2, 4 pair here with a 9 there. That is right. I'm sure this has resolved how this works. Yes, we can't put a 6 there in this box because it would cut that off. So 6 is here and 6 is there as well. And this line sort of starts with 6, 6 now. This is a 3 by Sudoku, and that's a 2 to complete the line. This pair is a 1, 5 pair. Now we're moving. After 20 minutes, we're actually rocking in this puzzle. 4, 2, 4. I could colour that 4 blue and this 9 orange. I don't know if the colouring is going to help at all now. These remaining digits are from 3, 7 and 8. Now the sandwich down here cannot be here, cannot use this cell, which is not a 1 or a 9. So it's somewhere over this side, the potential sandwich area in the bottom row. We've done the sandwich in that column, we've done it in this column. We haven't touched it in row 1. We've got a 1 there. Okay, we will have formed the sandwich in row 5, wherever the 9 appears here. Goodness, that was quite tough. Right, but now we must have some go forward. I just need to find out where. I thought finishing that line was going to be incredibly helpful. Hasn't quite panned out that way. These digits are from 1, 3 and 6. 5 must appear next to a 1 on this line. Now, we worked out earlier and 6 must be in one of these 4 cells. And that has to obviously be a segment on its own. Okay, I don't really know. There is a 2, 3, 1 segment. And there is a 2, 4 segment, which is going to have to either be there or there. One of these pairs is a 2, 4 pair. So that's going to be on the other side of the grid from the 5, 1 pair, on the other side of the box from the 5, 1 pair. Which can't be there and there, because then you couldn't fit in a 1, 2, 3 anywhere. And there is a 1, 2, 3 somewhere to fit in. So that applies just as much looking at those two. So one of these is a 2, 4 pair, and the other one is a 5, 1 pair. That's not quite true. One of these is a 2, 4 pair, and that digit is going with a 5. It couldn't be going with a 2, 3. That's fairly obvious, actually. So there's a 5 in one of these cells. The other digits, so there's a 2, 4 pair on one side and a 5 on the other side. And then there's a 2, 1, 3 triple and a 6 in the rest of the O, in the rest of the 0. I don't know. I can't even work out how that's going to pan out in the end. Now, I've got 1s here and here. Now, that's quite interesting. Does this have to be a 1? Did I work out earlier that this can't be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Yes, I did. Yes, I did, and that really matters. This can't be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because the 5 would have to go with a 1, and the 3, which couldn't go with another 3, would also have to go with a 1, and that would put 2 1s actually into those 2 cells, which is clearly nonsense. So there is a 1 in this 5-cell segment, and we now know it's there. And we've got this sandwich clue, putting a 9 there. I'm very proud of that deduction. That seems very hard. Now, does it get anything else done? That would be really annoying if it doesn't. I mean, that's typical of deductions that make me very proud, is you then can't do anything else with them. These are from 1, 2 and 4 in this row. That one, I don't know, that's almost anything. Well, I could try and add up the digits on this 0, but I just don't think it's really helpful. Oh, I've got a 6 clue in this row. Right, now where's the 9 in this row? It's got to be there, and it's got to be sandwiching a 6. That is lovely. That's the sort of thing I did want to find. Right, well done if you spotted that. These are now 2, 3, 4, and 5. The 5 there is going to go with a 1 in the row below. The 3... Ah, no, the 5 might go with that 1. The 3 is also going to go with a 1. So there's got to be a 1 in one of these cells. I think I knew that anyway. Anyway, now I'm going to do the maths. Let's add this up. 15 there, plus a 1 in one of those cells is 16. Now we have to get the O to a total that's divisible by 6, which could be 24, or could be 18. So the 2 or the 4 and whatever's here add up to 2 or 8. So whatever's here is even, and it must be a 6 going with a 2 here, because it can't be 2 4s. That's beautiful. So assuming my maths is right, 15, 17, 18, 24. That must be right. This is a 1-2 pair. That bodes to be useful. That's now a 2-3 pair. This is a 1-6 pair. This pair is a 5-4 just by elimination. Now, that 6 is obviously on its own as a segment. One of these ones is going with a 3 and the other one is going with a 5. So apart from that, we have a 2-4 pair. I don't know how to put that stuff together yet. Oh, goodness. This puzzle. Right. 9 is not there. 9 is in one of these 2 cells, along with 7 or 8 and 3. What does that do? We're almost getting to the point where, 1, 9 now can't be in this cell, so I can get rid of the purple colouring, because this is where 1, 9 must be. And in fact, I know the order in this row. So out of nothing, we've done the last row of sandwich that we needed to do. That becomes a 6. Now, that's a 1. So this is a new segment, 2, 1, 3. Then it's 5, 1. Then it's 4, 2. And that 0 is complete. That's intriguing how that unwinds all at once. That doesn't look over here and do anything. But 2 can't be in those cells, I've only just seen. And there are 2 2s on this thingy. So one of them is up here. I don't know. I still don't like to operate with that heavy machinery up here. So this can't be 9, 3. It's either 8, 4 or 5, 7 in some order. 1, 6, 2, 4, 9. Now, I've kind of used all the sandwich clues, I think. They seem like they're fully done. Yeah, I've just got to place a 9 there. So forget the sandwiches. I have not completed that line, but I've completed the other lines. And I've nearly completed all the cages. So is the rest classic Sudoku apart from this line? That's terrifying because I don't really know how to go about it. Oh, I've got a 7, 8 pair to fill in box 3. That's giving me a 7, 8 pair here. That makes that digit a 3. That's interesting. That's almost like a naked single. Then that is a naked 5. There we go. So that's a 4. That's a 2. This is now an 8. And that's 7 in the corner. And that's 9. And this is 7. And the orange cells are unwinding. I might as well colour them as I unwind them. Those are now blue. And there's a 7 in one of those. Now, 8, 4. Yeah, that was good, surely. It didn't do anything towards unwinding this, but it was comforting to get some digits in the grid. That seems to be 2 in the top row. And this is not 5 or 6. And that's a naked 8. Oops, not yellow. It's an 8 and it's orange. And that is 3 or 4. I can't see a way that I know which one of those it is. This is now not an 8. We need a 9 in one of these two cells, which takes 9 out of there and puts it here. In fact, that 7 has made that 8, 7, 8, 7. Okay, good. Now there's an 8 here by Sudoku. Ah, Sudoku, my old friend. You're telling me about 9 in box 8 as well. And now you're telling me about 8 in box 8 as a result of filling that cell. And that's 8 in box 2. And that seems to be all the 9s and 8s done. And can I finish 7s? I can finish the one in box 1. I can't finish the other 7s. I will come back to 7s. In this row, that is 6 or 7. These are from 3, 6, 7. Sorry. 1 in this box is there. Ah, that 1, that's brilliant. That gets onto the 0 up here. So, now, this cannot go 2, 3, 1, so it must go 2, 4. This one, let's just do this carefully. That is a 3 or a 5. It could go 3, 1, 2, and then that's a 3, 5 pair by Sudoku now. So that's a 2. Yeah, I don't actually know which way that 3 and 5 goes round. Either way will work. So Sudoku will have to work that out in due course. 4 there has made this a 5, and that sorts it out. There we go. So 3 there and 5 there. And we've got a 5, 1, a 6, a 2, 4, and a 3, 1, 2. And that is all done, which is marvellous. 9 in this row, 7 and 3. That sorts out 4 and 3 at the top. This is a 4. These are a 5, 6 pair. I do know the order. Okay, we can very simply colour those cells. Now, that's a 7 to complete the column. These are a 3, 5 pair that I can't order yet, but I can put in 6 and 4 there. Do a bit of colouring. I need one more orange cell here. That's a 7. One more orange cell in box 7. That's there. Everything else in the puzzle is blue, and that completes the colouring. That's now a 6. This is a 3. 2 and 5, 3 and 5, 6 in the corner, and 3 there. What a lovely puzzle, Florian. That's fabulous. 420 solves at the moment, and well deserved. That's really excellent, actually. I'm very pleased to have done that. Good fun on the channel, as always. Thank you for watching, and do check out that Duality pack on Patreon, or more importantly, Duality 2 when it launches on the 1st of November. Bye for now.